here we are with Beyond to the podcast. And let's start this shit up. So people can join and listen to our discussion at any point if they want. And I also set up a chat so they can chat if they want while we have our discussion for the next hour.
That'd be dope.
So that'll be let's see, Donda. So here's my thoughts on Donda. And remember, these are my thoughts on Donda completely. Unless you want to go first. Do you want to go first with your thoughts, or do you want me to do mine?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I think I like Donda the best out of the two of us, right?
Yeah.
Cause I've been watching the follow up. I've been watching everything leading up to the release of the album, all three listening parties. And I just feel like with the addition of the listening events, the listening parties, it just makes the album sounds so much more cohesive. There's such a beautiful meaning behind this album. It describes what Kanye has been feeling for the last couple of years. So it has really good meanings, really good lyrics. The sound of the album, I think, is one of the best sounds, production-wise that he has produced overall over his whole career. Cause this is honestly top 3 albums for me, Kanye's discography. So for me, the top 3 are My Beautiful Dark Fantasy, Yeezus, and Donda, and they're even up there on top, because I feel like they describe his career really similarly, the peaks of his sound, in different phases of his career. Beautiful Dark Fantasy is peak old school rap style.
Yeah.
And Yeezus is really cool, Chicago drill, early 2010s trap sound. And then now Donda is another phase in this trap sound. It's the 2020 style. You can see it from the features to Cardi. There's the Cardi drums, and then there is the Brooklyn drums, as well as this new ambient production melody style that I feel he has been really refining over the last 2 albums, which is Ye and Jesus is King. It's really chill in the background. It's really light. It's just ambient music type of sound. I feel there's no one in the rap game that can compete with this sound that he has right now. No one can replicate it. That's how I feel about it so far.
So what I'll say is that I feel every time a Kanye album would come out, I would always feel he was pushing boundaries. And even though I didn't like Jesus is King or Ye, I would say he still did, in his own regard, push boundaries with those albums. I didn't like them, but I still had respect for them. But this is just one that I just don't have respect for, don't like. I feel he didn't push any boundaries. And I feel honestly, I know it sounds bad, I feel we waited so long for a very mediocre album. And another thing too that really bugs me really bad is I'm tired of the religion stuff. I feel it's the biggest cop out ever. I feel he's trying to make a point with it or something, and it's a point that I'm still not understanding, because it's hurting him lyrically. And for instance, only releasing the clean version of the album, people said that we were supposed to get the explicit Friday, and I know that all that stuff doesn't really matter. You can have good albums that are clean, but it's not even going beyond clean. It's going to the point where he's literally watering down what he's trying to say. And that bugged me super bad, because I feel when Kanye used to talk about issues going on in his life, he would have such an interesting perspective on it that he would talk about lyrically that made it so special. But now it just feels it doesn't have that anymore. It's all just centered around fuck this problem, God's got me. And it's okay, that doesn't really do anything for me. You know what I mean? I used to what I liked about Kanye was the way he processed things lyrically. And I feel he stayed away from certain sounds just purely out of the idea that he doesn't want to push. I feel he feels if he does a certain sound, then he'll have to be a certain way on it, which is kind of irritating to me. So yeah, that's why I just overall didn't like the album. I didn't think it was worth the wait. I could have done without the religious the religious shit, you know? I was so tired of it now after hearing about this, like the religion shit now for almost like 2.5, 3 years. So could have done without that. But I will say, so I didn't like the album. If I had to rate it and give my rating on it, I would give the album a 4 out of 10. And I would say that, personally, I think it's definitely in some of his weakest. I will say it's better than Jesus is King. That's for sure. But, I still didn't really enjoy it. Things I did like about it though, is I do like what he did sonically with some of the songs. And I feel like on the songs where he didn't have any features, he did shine through, except for Junior. Fuck that song. That song is so terrible. But on every song that was like pretty much solo him, not feature, it was like really good to me. I felt like he did good on those songs. So, I will say I'm not hopeful in the future for Kanye. I'm not excited for his next releases at all. And I think, personally, I think it's for me. I am happy that there's a lot of people like you and stuff that really enjoy it. And, he has started the next chapter in his career. And he's moving on to do different things. And like, that's really dope. But personally for me, I was getting tired by the time we hit. Honestly, the first sign of me starting to slip as a fan was The Life of Pablo. I like that album. Don't get me wrong. It's just him doing the changing it shit and then writing it off as it's a living album or whatever you try to write it off as. And then that was like the first sign for me of like, okay, something's up. And then we got Yay, which just, I did not like at all. I thought it was so lazy. It was not only was it lazy, it was just weird. That album was really weird. Like there were songs in there, people were like, I love this. And I'd listen to it and it would come up in playlists. Like there was like 3 songs on a 7-song album that would come up. And when I'd hear them, I'd be like, is Kanye even in this song? Like I wouldn't even remember him in it. And it's kind of, I felt like that was also a sign being not even rememberable in your own song is like, you know, that's
for Yay.
Yeah, for Yay. Yeah. And then with Jesus is King, Jesus King was when I clocked out completely. And when Jesus is King, you know, that really set me off I think that was the end of the end. I really was done with it at that point. I felt like I'd wasted time trying to be a fan of him at that point. And then Donda it seemed like a step in the right direction, but a far step it's a step in the right direction with a mile to go. I feel like if he dropped that Jesus shit, Donda could have been fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. 100%. And I feel like he put too much emphasis on things have to be like this if it's going to sound in a certain way. And that really bugged the shit out of me. So we'll see where his career goes. I'm not excited for his next release. I hope that he does end up changing. I don't know. He flip-flops a lot. You know, he does for sure. We'll see where things go. Because obviously, you know, and me and you both know that with, from like 2003 to 2007, I would say, he was very adamant about this, very humble, back to the basics type shit. And then he switched up and he's like, no, I like stuff sonically. And then he was kind of ignorant from like 2007 to 2010 or 11. And then he started just kind of being, you know, on this like really abstract type wave. And he did that from like 2012 to 2017. And then all of a sudden we got this huge change where it was like Yay was the transition. And then now we're into this Jesus God bullshit era of Kanye that's been around since 2018 and it's still going. I do hope, like, you know, I hope he grows out of it. I feel like it will personally. That's what I'm hopeful for because I really want a solid Kanye album. And I feel, like I said, Donda was a step in the right direction for sure. It was definitely a step in the right direction because that's when he stopped with, you know, he let some stuff in there that he didn't let on Jesus is King at all. So we'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it turns out. Not hopeful, but we'll see how it turns out. Any closing thoughts on Donda?
Wow, you kind of killed Donda. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it was a 4 out of 10.
Sheesh. What did Fantano give it?
Give it a 7, I think.
Oh, you gave it a 7? A light 7, a 7, or a strong 7?
I think it's a light 7.
Yeah, I gave it a.
How do you feel about the features on it? I feel like they play a really big part of building up the sounds on this album. Because I feel like they play like a big part of what kept it from being a Jesus is a King. They are like what made this album not too heavy on religion.
I mean, personally, for me, I counted out. So I heard a lot of people like complaining about the features on Drake's album, and I actually and counted out the features that that Kanye has on the album, and Kanye has 30 plus features on Donda. So if you need 30 artists to hold up your trash sound, I don't think I can. I don't think I can vote for that. I don't think I can vote for that. I think there's a limit for me where you hit. I think there's definitely a limit for me where you're going past supporting artists to artists holding your shit up completely. Which I feel bad about 100%. It's like a DJ Khaled album.
Apparently, this Twitter account, is like Hip Hop by the Numbers account. They the feature had like 50-something% of like lyrics on the album on Donda, and Kanye had like 40-something%. So yeah, the features played a big part on it. But like My Beautiful Dark Fantasy, that album had a heavy amount of feature too. It's like really close to Donda. Like time wise, that had 50. So Kanye had like 50-something%, and the feature on that had like 40-something%. So it's kind of like a flip flop. Donda versus My Beautiful Dark Fantasy. So
yeah, and that's interesting because My Beautiful Dark Fantasy definitely like that album, but it is not my top 3, to be honest, which is like kind of a hot take, but I think Graduation. And for me, it goes Graduation, The College Dropout, and then Yeezus, and then My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which to some people is like, that's like a hot take, I guess. You know what I mean? Because usually it's
hot take.
Yeah. Because a lot of people tend to have it higher in regards, but I personally, that's just how I feel about it. I was present during the release of it. Like I 100% was like present during the release of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but I don't think it made an impact on me. And it's better than Donda, of course. But definitely better than Donda.
Another similar aspect between those two albums are like what's happening in Kanye's life at when he's making both albums, because like Twisted Fantasy, that was like after like the Taylor Swift MTV thing, the whole industry was trying to like blackball him, and now on Donda, he's like divorcing Kim. So he has like a divorce going on, like both terrible periods of his life. And I feel like because of that, like somehow he's like making incredible music from like such terrible periods in his life, which sounds kind of bad from like an outsider perspective. But yeah,
I kind of wish that I could have like gotten another My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy from Kanye. I think that if he dropped the Jesus shit, like, because that's the thing with the Jesus shit, he's watering down stuff so much that Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I could actually hear his pain about being blackballed in the industry, but in Donda, he covers everything. I want to hear how he feels about going through the divorce. I don't want to hear, I'm not going to tell you how I feel because God is going to light my path and guide my way. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. And,
I feel like thematically, Donda really tells you how he feels, like, cause in the beginning, with jail, he feels like he's like trapped or whatever, cause like, he's going to jail tonight, he's gonna have like, he got priors. So like, I kind of don't agree with you on how, on Donda lyrically, he doesn't tell us what he's feeling. Cause like, I think he is telling us how he feels in that period in his life. Like, and God also played a big part in it. That's why he is, like why religion is like such a big part on this album, because like that's what saved them at the end.
Maybe I'm done. Sorry, not done. Maybe I'm dumb, but for me, I would have preferred to just hear him say that. Also, sonically, let's just like everything else permitted. Sonically, the album didn't have as much cohesion as I would like. It did have good cohesion, don't get me wrong, but I would put the same level of cohesion as like fucking The Life of Pablo. So, you know, good cohesion, but for Kanye, not crazy cohesion.
This is like kind of T-Law Part 2, like a evolution of that with the new sound. And I think that's like why, like another part of why I really like this album, because like he's going into like new territories. He's always going into new territories. As opposed to just like making Graduation Part 2 or AO8's Part 2.
Yeah, I mean that's what I want though.
You just want that old Kanye, huh?
Yeah, I mean he's been changing shit every single album. Like, come on, at least give us one. At least give us one Part 2. But I understand what you're saying, because I feel like it'll get panned. But surprisingly enough, both of Kanye and Drake's albums are both met with lukewarm to mixed and critical reviews. Interesting enough. Didn't know that. They both were met with
for CLB already.
Yeah, of course.
No,
of course, the critics get on those albums quick. And we don't even know about first week sales either. We're not even going to see, bro, until next Friday. We're not going to get the first weeks for, you know.
Oh, we know the first week for Donda.
Really? Wait, what do you mean? Didn't it release on Sunday? So it's still got 2 more days left. Or we got like part of the week.
Billboard's prediction or whatever.
Oh yeah. I keep forgetting that they do the predictions. No, I'm stupid.
It's like 300.
300K?
327K.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Nothing bad. Not bad.
Donda debut at number 1 on the U.S. albums chart with 327,000 sold first week. It earns the biggest debut of the year. It also has like a lot of number 1s in like 100 something plus countries, which is kind of dope.
Well, we'll see how Drizzy stacks up. So I guess we can move on to the CLB, my personal favorite.
Yeah, you see someone hopped into the chat earlier.
Dude, there's been like 3 or 4 people who have hopped into the chat and then they listen for like 5-10 minutes and then they dip.
Damn. Yeah, I saw one guy hopped in.
Yeah, I guess they're not fucking with the CLB plus Donda discussion.
Yeah, they're like.
But now it's kind of dope because we can do these podcasts, and then if people are interested, then they can follow us, and then, you know, they can hop in when we do them, you know. So for anybody listening, we just listened through CLB, and now we're gonna do the post discussion, because I know in the editing there's gonna be like a cuts and shit, you know what I mean? So we're like, what, you know? So yeah. So you can go first.
In my opinion, I feel like this is one of the better Drake albums. I feel like it's pretty cohesive compared to the last 2, Scorpion, More Life. I feel like this is more of a classic Drake song. There's like less dance hall type sounds, and there's no UK drill sounds on this album.
Yeah, he got rid of that fucking fake drill. Thank God.
Yeah, he kind of goes in on rapping wise. There's like a lot of 7 a.m. like a.m. p.m. Missouri type of songs on this album. I feel like one of the bad things I feel about this album is it's a little bit too feature heavy on the beginning of the album. Like after Champagne Poetry, pretty amazing intro. Reminds me of Tuscan Leather with the beat switches, and Poppy Song, really good thematic song for the album. Tells us about what he's feeling about all the sons. And
about like the people he's inspired and shit, like in the industry.
But then after that, the feature songs goes on for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs straight, where I feel like Drake did the minimal and then just left it up to the features to like carry on in the back half of the song, so Drake could have done better for the beginning part. So I feel like he's like playing a compromise for the fans, where the fans want like a really good cohesive album from him, but he's still trying to like get the mainstream audience. So that's why he like puts all these like
with the features, yeah.
features in the beginning. Yeah. So after the interlude, Yeba's Heartbreak, it's a pretty good interlude, by the way. He talks about no friends in the industry, knife talk, 7 a.m. on Bridal Road. I feel like the second half, more of the important songs, in my opinion. So he can probably cut out the first half of
the whole first half. You think so?
Yeah, at least the songs with features. He could have cut out all those songs.
I think maybe not cut out the whole song, but I think he could have definitely, like, for instance, like Girls Love Girls. I think I like that song. Girls Want Girls. I think it's good with Lil Baby on it. But like, for instance, and I know this is such a fucking hot take, but Love All did not need the Jay-Z feature on that. Yeah.
I feel like Jay-Z's been kind of phoning it in lately.
Yeah, he has been phoning it in, huh?
I mean, I'm not much of a Jay-Z fan. He was kind of there before my time, but yeah, he's been phoning it in.
He put the Jay-Z on for the old heads.
Yeah. So in my opinion, like, he can cut out most of the songs in the first half.
Little fun fact, just to add on to what you're saying about the features, this is interesting, is that probably about 5 of the songs from the beginning half in the Bible, Love All, Fair Trade, and In Too Deep, and Knife Talk are all derivative of leaks. So, I mean, the other ones too is that, but I'm only going to talk about the ones that have features. There's like 1 or 2 more, like TSU and Champagne Poetry are both leaks in a way. So, all right.
So the first half is all leaks.
Yeah, basically almost, except for like a couple of them. But here's the interesting thing about it. All those songs the leaked version is so different from the one that we got on the album that, it's insane. So for instance, All Love or Love All, that song originally did not have Jay-Z on it. In fact, it was a beat switch song. So it actually, it had him going, R.I.P. And then it had the first verse, and then it had the hook again, and then he had a second verse, and then the beat switched, and it slowed down. And he said, I'm gonna come through and get your back broken, but I'm gonna never with no emotion. But he actually cut out his second verse and cut out the beat switch and just threw another hook and Jay-Z on there. That's an instance of like a decision that I think he should not have made. I think that was really dumb. Knife Talk leaked so long ago that it shouldn't even have been on the fucking album. I'm going to tell you that. Like, I heard Knife Talk. I'm not even shitting you. I think I heard like early versions of that song in fucking 2017.
Because I thought it sounded like a Metro Boomin 21 Savage like album leftover. But if you're saying it was like a 2017 leftover, then it's like from their first album. It's like a leftover from their first album instead of the second one. Which is kind of insane.
Yeah. You're right. It sounded like a fucking 21 Savage leftover. So let's see. In the Bible, fun fact, the original In the Bible that I heard, I can't remember what it was called, but it was not called In the Bible, and it did not have Lil Durk or Giveon on it. And it was like a 1.5-minute snippet, that was like really low quality, and the instrumental was probably like 50% different. I don't even think the instrumental had drums on it, but I heard that shit probably like a year ago, because in the Bible, Love All, and a part of Fair Trade like leaked. like a long time ago. And TSU leaked, and Knife Talk leaked, and a portion of Champagne Poetry leaked. So, but Champagne Poetry is completely different from what people said. Champagne Poetry is like completely different. The leaked version of Champagne Poetry doesn't even sound like the Champagne Poetry. Different lyrics, different beat, completely different. So that's kind of like, who the fuck knows what happened with that Champagne Poetry, or even how somebody got the title, which is like so weird.
You don't like
Some
the
people
title?
said that, no, I do, but like some people actually are saying that, Drake saw that leak with that title and stole the title from that leak that somebody made up. That's like a rumor, I guess. But, Fair Trade. So I'm sure you remember about like 6 or 7 months ago, Drake actually posted like a minute clip of Fair Trade. And then there was actually like a leak of 2 minutes of Fair Trade that leaked. It had the full hook in the first verse, and that was it. And then it kind of like faded out. And there was like rumors that it was Fair Trade was going to have a beat switch, that somebody in the industry said that Fair Trade had a beat switch. So I will say I like that one. I think Travis Scott worked on that song, so I'm not mad about that feature. Don't mind it.
Yeah.
In the Bible, I could have done without Lil Durk on that shit, if I'm being honest. I could have done with, I think Laugh Now, Cry Later was the better of Lil Durk and fucking their collabs. But I'm glad Laugh Now, Cry Later's not on this fucking song, because if he put a year-old song on this shit, which he does have year-old leaks on it, but a year-old public song, that's cringe. Let me think of the other ones. And yeah, Knife Talk originally, it didn't have Project Pat on the leak. It only had 21 Savage, so that he added that one in. But you are right. Like, the first half is pretty feature heavy, but I feel like it's mainly, I feel like this is how it feels. So with Girls Want Girls, it's like it's Drake hook, Drake does a verse, and then the artist. Same with In the Bible, same with Love All, same with Fair Trade. So that's why I respect it. I'm cool with it, and I have no issues with it. That's where we get into this whole like fine line with Kanye, where he was doing like, wouldn't even do the hooks and would do an 8-bar verse and then let the features take the rest of it. And that's what bothered me. But if you're holding your own on the hook, if you're doing your own hook, I think you can give one verse and let the other artist take that over. I think these features could have definitely been switched out with some better people. And I know this is like such a far cry. I wouldn't have minded, dude. Switch Lil Baby with Party Next Door on Girls Want Girls. I would have been down with it.
Yo, yeah, where is Party Next Door?
Dude, party, bro. What do you mean? This is Party Next Door's album, bro.
from the OVO
sweatshop. Bro, this is his album, bro. This is Party Next Door. He doesn't even need to be on it. It's all album. Fucking, and it's the Weeknd's album.
Yeah, so I thought there was a Weeknd feature on this. Did I just black out and not?
No, there's no Weeknd feature on it. No.
Oh.
I thought Take Care is the Weeknd's album though.
Did you see all those billboards he put up? I thought there was like a Weeknd billboard or something.
No, sadly not. There wasn't. No Weeknd feature. They're beefing, so.
Wait, they're beefing not still? I thought they're like all good now after like.
Well,
whatever happened. I thought something happened and then they're like, oh.
Well, in the Rap Radar interview, he mentioned that like, I have nothing but respect and there's things they still got to work out and apologize to each other for. But honestly, that makes it sound like so two-sided when really it was Drake. Drake did all the bullshit in that relationship. I mean, dude, I am absolutely one of the biggest Drake fans ever. I love him. I think CLB to me is an 8 out of 10, 100% top 5. But Take Care is my number 1. But he absolutely stole the Weeknd shit for Take Care. If you go look at what the Weeknd was talking about with Take Care, it's sad. And then it happened to Party Next Door. And then I think that's when artists started to be like, let's not give Drake our shit. You know what I mean? And I think after, it was, I love McConan too. Drake stole a shit ton of I Love McConan stuff. And it's sad. I'm a huge fan of Drake and I wish that he did not do that, but nonetheless, he is guilty of that. But if you go look, dude, literally there's stories of Drake going into a recording session of The Weeknd's and seeing him playing a track and being like 80% done with it and being like, bro, can I please have that, bro? Come on, yo, this track is speaking to me, man. I gotta use it. And then The Weeknd will be like, okay, I'll let you have this one. And then The Weeknd was like, that was nice until it happened like 8 times. And then when The Weeknd brought it up to him with like, hey, bro, I won't lie, it kind of feels like you're stealing my sound. And apparently Drake responded to that with, well, your sound comes from my sound, so is it really stealing? And it's like, okay, Yeah, so they have their issues there, and that's why they don't really work together anymore, because of that shit. That really popped off the fucking beef between them. And then Party Next Door. Do we even have to get into Party Next Door? If you're reading this, it's too late. And Views were basically Party Next Door's album.
Yeah, bro. If you're reading this, it's too late. Had like Quentin Miller on it too. I feel like that was mostly Quentin Miller's album. And
Quentin Miller did all the reference tracks, so he was like the one who did all the reference tracks for that fucking project. I mean, I won't lie. Drake learned his lesson after that. He definitely learned his fucking lesson after Views. Because after that, that's when he realized, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. So thank God he kind of finished that. But, I think at the end of the day, besides all that, CLB's top 5 for me. Number 4, if I'm being honest. I think it's cohesive. I think it sounds refreshing. I think it hits fucking amazing. I think regardless of the features that I wish he switched out with some other people, I still think that it's a great album overall, and I think it's really dope. And I feel like it's his way of being like, hey, you know what? I'm here to stick around for a couple more. You know what I mean? So that kind of made me happy. And, who the fuck knows what we'll get on the next one. If I'm being honest, we're probably going to get another album next year. Yeah. Oh, 100%. This album has gotten such mixed reviews leaning towards the negative side. There's no fucking way he's not going to do another one next year. He has an ego. At the end of the day, he has a fucking ego. So he is gonna prove people wrong. This album is gonna spawn club hits, TikTok hits, all that type of shit, arena hits, and everything, and like just cultural hits. But it doesn't fucking matter because the critics panned it. Bro, the critics absolutely panned it.
I just looked up CLB's Metacritic. It's a 58 from critics and a 3.4 from user score. Holy shit.
Yeah, his shit's getting panned because it's kind of weird, but he mixed meme with seriousness and it did not go well. And I hope that artists can all learn a fucking lesson from this. And I'm sad that it had to be Drake that had to learn that hard lesson. But sadly enough, don't package an album with such serious stuff in fucking bubble wrap or fucking like clown wrapping paper. It's just not going to work. And I love Drake, but this is my opinion. If he just changed a couple, honestly, the Certified Lover, he doesn't even really mention Certified Lover Boy at all on the whole fucking album. You change the album title to Certified, you change that fucking cover art, you make a little bit of better merch, that album would have been fucking in the 70s for Metacritic. But because he had that emoji album cover with the weird rollout and the shitty merch and and even the meme ass fucking album title of Certified Lover Boy, it kind of fucked the album up a little bit. But talking purely musically, amazing. Even the songs on there, you can all come, like, let's be fucking real. You can obviously tell there's a couple songs in there that are like for TikTok. Like Girls Want Girls is for TikTok, 100%. Way Too Sexy is for TikTok. Knife Talk is for TikTok. So it's just, those songs are of course for TikTok, but I think as an artist nowadays, sadly, you kind of have to do that shit. You know what I mean? You kind of have to do it. Sadly, even Kanye did on Donda, which is a pretty pristine album, but he did shit for TikTok. I've seen so many fucking TikToks with using his shit.
Which ones? Which ones of Donda?
Okay, Junior. Literally that line in one of those songs where he says, if you reply with an hi, that one fucking TikTok is having a fucking buffet with that line and the throat goat line. So it's, like, sadly enough, bro, at the end of the day, people are making TikTok classics, and that's how it's going to have to go until TikTok dies out. So of course Drake threw in 3 or 4 TikTok classics on that fucking album. But for being TikTok classics, I like them, and I feel like they hold their own weight. Because for instance, like Way Too Sexy, so fucking good. I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt was something that me and my friends in middle school thought was so funny. Like we literally would just be like, yo, I'm too sexy, just like dumb shit like that when we were like 7, 8, 9, because there was a resurgence of that song. So I forgot when that song came out, but I know that when I was between the ages of like 8 to 10, it was really popular. I heard it a lot. And so when I heard that shit, it brought me back to like nostalgia. Like I just was like, yo, this is so fire. Like this just reminds me of when I was like 10 and that song was like popular. So I would definitely say that like for a fucking dusty old man like me, yeah, that was a great song. I like it. I feel like it's a really cool derivative song that many people have done before. So it's just funny that like people are shitting on Drake for that when like so many fucking artists take old songs and kind of do their like modern flip on them. And Way Too Sexy, I think it's good. Is it going to be overplayed in a month? 100 fucking percent. Every single dog shit comedy video on fucking Facebook, every TikTok and stupid fucking Instagram shit is gonna have that fucking song, sadly.
Just like any other Drake song.
Yeah,
like all Drake songs.
Like that's why I'm staying the fuck away from that stuff. I'm not listening to it. I want to enjoy the songs on my own, and I'm staying away from social media because I feel like social media ruined Scorpion for me a bit. Because I remember loving In My Feelings. When I first heard In My Feelings, I was in love with it. I was like, this song is so unique, so good. It felt special to me. And then I went on Instagram like a week after the album comes out, and you see all these people doing that challenge where they're like dancing outside of the car with the song playing, and I was like, that's pretty funny, that's kind of cool. And then all of a sudden you see like professional dancers doing it, and then it hits TikTok, and then Facebook is playing it on all their comedy videos, and then YouTubers are doing meme videos of it. An instant skip for me now. Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the pop, like, what song is gonna pop off of CLB? Obviously, Way Too Sexy the first one that has like a video, but
Girls Want Girls, Knife Talk. I think for more culturally classic ones that are gonna be like frat college party classics that people are gonna play is gonna be for sure In the Bible and maybe TSU.
Okay. In my opinion, I feel like the songs that can be classified as like classic Drake songs on this album for me are End Too Deep.
That's a great one.
No Friends in the Industry. Race on My Mind. I feel like it was really well done. It feels like early Drake.
Yeah, I feel the same about Fucking Friends, but apparently that's not the consensus, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of cringe. A little bit.
I love Fucking Friends.
INY too. That was crazy good. I feel like that's probably Cudi and Drake's first like collaboration song. I feel like
that's their first like direct collaboration.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I would say the final things I have to say is that I would say that it is interesting to see the future. I'm excited for Drake's next year. I'm excited to see what he does in the future, like 100% for sure. I wonder, looking at the track list now, what Drake's music 1 month from now, who knows how shit's going to be played out. I've heard people say that Fair Trade is going to be a popular one, but to be honest, I disagree. Oh, sorry, not
the one with Travis.
Yeah. Fair Trade. Yeah. Fair Trade is probably going to be pretty popular, which I'm kind of upset about because Fair Trade is one of the songs where I'm hearing and I'm like, so special to me. So I'm kind of just going to avoid listening or like watching any shit about stuff. Like I've avoided all media about Drake, and I'm going to continue doing that for 2 or 3 months until I'm comfortable with like being like letting shit be overplayed. But Love All, I heard someone too say Love All is going to be like a hit. I absolutely fucking disagree. And if that is a hit, I'll be pissed off.
Yeah, I feel like it's not. No.
Yeah, because
I
Love
feel like
All,
if any of the songs with features becomes a hit, I feel like the features are gonna play a big part into the song being a hit. I'm more like Drake being like a big part of the song to be like the hit song.
yeah, also one thing I will say is no friends in the industry. I don't know if anybody picked this up yet, and I don't know if it's on Wikipedia. I listened to them back to back. No Friends in the Industry is 100% a direct interpolation of Still Here from Views. They use the same notes. They use the same beat structure. I think they even share like a couple derivative lines. And I have not seen anybody pick up on that yet. So I'm really fucking surprised. We'll see. We'll see if somebody picks up on that one.
All right.
But just know I said it here first.
Yeah, I gotta listen to that again. What song was it again?
So listen Views? To Still Here on Views, and then like make a little playlist and put Still Here then No Friends in the Industry, and they are almost fucking identical. I would say Still Here is a little softer, but other than that, they're identical.
I gotta check that out.
What was the last part of the discussion you wanted to do?
I feel like this is long enough, and I feel like we can wait a week, and then we can sit on CLB and Donda too, and then we can have another discussion on which one is better, and then we can wait for like how much CLB's gonna suck too.
Yeah, we definitely need to see that. Maybe next I don't have school next Friday, so maybe next Friday we can do a CLB and Donda, like full first week comparative where we go through reception, if you still feel the same about the album, if you feel different, what do you feel? Reception and numbers, just like go through it. And general culture too, like what people are saying. Cause so far, dude, it's so weird. When Donda came out, I saw people shitting on it. And then when CLB just came out, I see people now saying Donda's good, fuck CLB. So I just want, in a week, are people just going to be like, they're both bad or they're both good? Like I just, I'm confused as fuck culturally where people are sitting with both of these albums.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be fun next week.
Thank you for listening to Beyond to the podcast, and we will see you all next week.